Hi everyone and welcome back. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and in this video we are going to talk about why you must use NestJS. Why developers are choosing NestJS, why they are giving preference now. I think there are many reasons of it, and as having experience of 6 years working in the NestJS since it came into the picture, I can answer better on those questions because prior to that I was using Express, Koa, HappyJS, and now I'm using NestJS for a long time, and I know the pain points of using other framework and how NestJS is solving all those things together. So we will talk about why each and every developer should use NestJS. I will not say that each and every application should be using NestJS. There are other framework like Express, Koa, Happy you can use, but why you must learn NestJS, and some of your projects which are complex, production ready and scalable, you can take the advantage of using NestJS in those projects. So the first reason why I want to use NestJS is a Typescript support. So you might be aware that there are lots of framework: NestJS, Express, Koa, HappyJS. Prior to that, most of the code for the Node.js server side was not TypeScript heavy. But NestJS is enforcing you to use TypeScript only because NestJS is heavily inspired by Angular, and there is no way you can escape using TypeScript. There is no way you can just use a vanilla JavaScript to build the APIs. So now the second reason of using NestJS is the Ioc container, because NestJS is providing an inversion of control container. That is a container that is maintaining the dependency injection tree. All the injectable services are in the IOC. You can get the instance of any particular service. Consider the application without DI framework. When you want to get an object of one service into another service, what you do? You manually create the instance and do the tight coupling of two services into one another. That's tight coupling and not a good design. How IOC is doing it, inversion of control, and DI framework is doing it, they are maintaining the dependency injection tree, and through the IOC container you can get the instance of any particular service. So that is the second most popular reason for me to switch and start using NestJS, because I came from the background of high level programming where we are writing lots of classes, dependency injection in the Spring Boot Java. So I love using TypeScript here and this modular design where you are creating the IOC container, and everything is like sometimes feel like a Java and .NET. If you are a functional developer doing lots of functional programming, then you have an option to hate these things because you are more oriented to functions than classes. If there are classes, then all the object-oriented concept, dependency injections, encapsulations, abstractions, all those things will come into picture, and TypeScript from the Microsoft is heavily inspired with all those concepts. And next important feature NestJS provides is the modular design. Whatever the application you are building in the NestJS is modular by design. You have modules, you have a controller, you have services, you have providers, pipes, interceptor, filters. Everything is encapsulated inside a module. You can create a multiple module, shared module, core module. You can define the dependency of modules into one another. So you can share services across one module to another module. I can create a shared module, and those shared services can be shared among other modules. So this modular design is encapsulating all the core principles, all the principles of JavaScript. Solid principles are also adopted. Even all the object-oriented programming concepts are adopted in this modular design. And when it comes to the folder structure, NestJS is, I will say, the best. I will give 10 out of 10 when you want to design the folder structure, because across the team you can follow the same standard. So let's say if you are using NestJS across the team, you can follow the same convention, you can follow the same strategy, same folder structure, and same baseline projects. Nobody is going to deviate the baseline design or the modular design principles which your team is adopting. So across the team you can have a same code. Just by looking into the code, I can understand the concepts driven in that particular service. Next reason is it is strongly opinionated. That means it is enforcing you some conventions to follow. And I love in doing that because I spent couple of years using Express and there was no strict opinionation. There There was no conventions being followed. Everybody was writing the code in their own way, and that is really pain point of using Express or any other framework, because you can design, you have freedom. But in the Nest.js, I don't need that kind of freedom. I need a proper structure, proper modular code, and uh, following all the best principles. I mean, there is a very big list. If you go to the NestJS, it has a native GraphQL support, validations with the class validators, and it also supports microservices based on TCP, EMQP. I mean, you can use a RabbitMQ, Redis, all those set of microservices built with the NestJS like gRPC, TCP, EMQP. All those protocols are supported. I'm using heavily NestJS for building the REST APIs and the GraphQL APIs. I have even tried the Apollo Federation integration with the NestJS. NestJS provide all possible integrations with all external services, and it has a rich community. That is a very big point. Like, I never face any very really big challenge in integrating anything. You can create a custom dynamic modules, publish them, and reuse them custom modules with any of the project. It has a really nice integration with the workspaces, and you can use NestJS with the NX or PNPM workspaces. It has a good integration with the monorepo structures. So there are lots of advantage of using NestJS. If you want to do something really lightweight, just plain and simple, you can go with Express. But for production ready and large scale applications, you can go with the NestJS. Really don't worry about the performance, because it's not that you are going to get billions of requests. And there is a slight variations with the Express, NestJS, and Fastify when we compare the performance. But performance has a cost. But not each and every service we are building is going to be used by Netflix or any large scale microservices, right? So stick to conventions. NestJS is really giving lots of good opportunities to the JavaScript developers to build a production ready, really nice set of